Hi guys, so it's a few days before Christmas and I know it doesn't feel like a Christmassy year, but my hope is that you will find some peace and some joy in this season, okay? No matter how tough it gets, I want you to know that you will make it. It will be an amazing season coming for you, okay? I'm doing this video for two reasons. The first one is because I feel like a lot of people are not taking the coronavirus pandemic seriously, okay? So yes, there are all these messages about masking up, about washing your hands, about isolating, and we're saying these things, but a lot of people are not doing these things. The second reason why I'm doing this video is because I feel like there is a stigma associated with people who have got the virus, such that a lot of people are not coming out to actually say that they've got the virus and this is what it actually was for them. And for some of the people who do come out and say I've got the virus, they play it down for so many reasons. You know, one is probably the feeling that, you know, it would seem like my faith is not strong enough if I come out and say that I felt weak or I had these symptoms, so it's better to just say, oh, it was just a flu, you know, it passed or something like that. And for whatever reason, you know, a lot of people are not coming out and saying it. And the challenge with that is that you then find many more people who are saying, well, I've heard that it has happened to other people, but I don't know anyone in my immediate circle that has been through this virus experience, okay? And so I think that for me, I feel like it is a responsibility for me to actually share this experience with you in hopes that it would actually help someone, okay? And possibly even save a few lives, okay? So what I'm gonna be doing today is I'm just gonna be sharing my experience of this virus, okay? I'm gonna share with you some of the things that I found out at the beginning of this, some of the things I had to do, and some of the things I'm still doing, even though it's been a couple weeks since I've had the virus. In order for me to be as accurate as possible, I'm going to be reading from my journal, because I actually journaled this entire thing. And you know, like I said, for me it was a responsibility. It wasn't just about going through it, but how do I use this as a point to actually teach people or help people through it, because I couldn't find resources out there that really chronicled personal experiences such that you could actually, you know, if someone around you got it or if you got it, like, you're not going to panic and you're going to be actually able to handle it, okay? And so that's why I'm doing this. So first things first. So unlike most people who say, you know, it was just the flu, like I just had like the sniffles, I coughed, and then, you know, the whole thing went, I went through almost all the symptoms. So I wrote down some of the symptoms I went through. So first, it started off with sneezing, headache, fatigue, muscle aches, okay? And then my symptoms progressed really fast. So I lost my sense of smell, I lost my sense of taste, I couldn't smell anything. So for about 3 days, no smell. Like I tried to spray some perfume just to see if I could smell it. Nothing, okay? Then I had chest pain and tightness, breathing difficulty, temperature, my fever was running, but my fever only ran for about 2 days, really. And then insomnia, like I couldn't sleep at all, so I was suffering from sleep apnea throughout the period. I also had like a general discomfort, my body was just like aching, and then my blood pressure started to drop. So I had this period where my blood pressure would literally just go down, okay? And it would cause me to just feel dizzy and lightheaded, okay? And then I also at some point started to suffer from diarrhea, okay? So I just had like bad diarrhea, but again, that only lasted about 2 days for me. And then I had no vomiting. So like a lot of people say, you know, they go through nausea and vomiting. Luckily I didn't have that. I had no consistent headache. I had headaches a few days, but it wasn't like consistent headache. At some point my right arm actually went numb, so I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't feel my right arm, I couldn't use it. I was trying to wash dishes, and I realized I couldn't move this arm at all. And at some point I lost my right leg as well, you know, was not functional, so I couldn't actually move. The other thing is my heart generally felt tired. So I felt like my heart was trying to, you know, has been trying to pump blood to all the other parts of, and oxygen to the other parts of, you know, my body. And so that just generally had made me really weak and really tired, okay? So again, it's very easy for us to go out and say, oh, you know, but yeah, it's just the flu and we'll just get over it. But the truth about it is, like, you're gonna infect someone else whose body is not able to handle it, or who doesn't have, you know, strong enough immunity to be able to handle it. And one of the things that people are finding out about this virus is that there's no, like, we have no idea how it's gonna affect anyone. You know, it just affects people in different ways. Sometimes it doesn't even matter how strong you are, it doesn't matter how healthy you are, right? I've heard about people who are extremely healthy, health and fitness freaks, who have had to go through the worst part of this virus, okay? So let's not take it for granted. So at the beginning, you know, like I said, it started off with the sneezing, the headache. It actually felt a lot like malaria. So I went to the hospital, and, you know, the doctor took a blood test and said to me, oh, you have malaria and typhoid. And I was actually being medicated for that malaria and typhoid, which kind of leads me into what you should do. Okay, so the first thing is, please trust your gut instinct about this thing. Okay, when my doctor told me that I had malaria and typhoid, the truth is, deep down inside of me, I knew that this is not how I feel when I usually have malaria. So I think that a lot of people are saying, oh, I just have malaria, oh, you know, it's just a cold, oh, it's just a it's Hamatan, and all sorts of things that we're selling ourselves. But the truth is, there's a way that you feel that you just kind of know that it is possible that you have this. And I'm so glad that I was able to trust my gut instinct from the beginning, because what I immediately did was, one, I stopped going to the office. Okay, so I just was like, you know what, just in case, yes, I might have malaria, but just in case, let me not even try to infect anyone. So I was just extra cautious. Didn't go out at all, didn't see anybody. In fact, I had gone somewhere the day before, and I masked up. Like, I made sure I was extra. And in fact, I was supposed to stay you know, later on for the event and stuff, but as soon as I performed my part, I got off stage and I faded. Like, I didn't interact with anyone. Just, again, not because I knew for sure, but because I just decided to take precaution. And I'm so glad I did that, because that, again, helped me to not, you know, go around spreading this thing. Okay, so please mask up, even if you feel like it's malaria. Okay, second thing is, get tested immediately. Okay, so get tested, and then make sure that anyone who you came in close contact to actually gets tested as well. So I went and I did a PCR test. And please don't go and do like the home testing kits. They work, but I hear that, you know, they're not 100% accurate. So a PCR test is actually the most accurate. You can do it at like different places around. So find somewhere and then go get tested. Okay, and then make sure you notify all the people that you've been around to actually go and get tested as well. That's the people that you know that you interacted closely with. So in my case, it was my family, so I made sure that my entire family got tested as well. It's just the right thing to do. Okay, the next thing you need to do is to isolate alone in a bedroom. Okay, and make sure that the fan is on, make sure that the windows are open. You're going to need that ventilation. It's really important, because again, your lungs are going to be struggling a little bit, and so it's important that, you know, you're able to just air the room out. And during that period as well, don't share any cutlery, don't share food with people. So what I did was, I just have my tray in my bedroom, and I've just had, you know, all my cutlery, my cup, my plates and everything, even down to my own honey. Like, I'm not sharing with anyone else in the household, and so that is also important, because then you can keep them away from, you know, getting this. Okay, so these are just some preliminary things to do. Okay, so now let's talk about the virus proper. Whew. This thing has literally kicked my ass. If I tell you that it was a breeze, or it has been a breeze, I will be lying. Okay, this thing has literally kicked my ass. But, you know, I know that God is on the throne, and I believe that, you know, my recovery is going to be smooth. I know it'll take a while. For a lot of people, even though, yeah, they say after 2 weeks you stop feeling the symptoms, in my case it's actually been 3 weeks and I'm still feeling the symptoms. I realize that for a lot of people it takes within 3 to 6 months for you to actually get fully back into, you know, your full health. But for me, again, I'm manifesting that good health, so just keep me in your prayers. Now I'm going to talk about dealing with the virus proper. Okay, so these are some medications that are necessary. First of all, please don't self-medicate. Ask your doctor, you know, to prescribe medication that is specific for this virus, so that's what I did. I actually got prescription medication. Multivitamins are incredibly important. You want to definitely boost your immunity. Zinc tablets, chloroquine, omega-3 fish oil, that's something I was taking, and I'm still taking it. Antibiotics as well. Again, don't just go and take off-the-counter antibiotics. Make sure that you actually find out you know, what you should take from your doctor, because we all have different bodies, and luckily my doctor knows, you know, my medical history, so he was able to prescribe stuff that worked. So again, you know, multivitamins, zinc tablets, chloroquine, omega-3 fish oil, antibiotics, also vitamin D3. In fact, you know what, I'll show you some of the stuff that I've been taking just in case you want to buy it. So for me, I try to stay with like organic, vegan multivitamins, just because I don't like a lot of the pharmaceutical stuff. So this, first of all, this is a great brand, Naturello, and I did like the probiotics in the morning on an empty stomach, and then I've got the omega-3 fish oil, the One Daily multivitamin, I don't know if you can see it, and then I've got my zinc, again, Nature Secrets. I've got my vitamin D3 as well. And again, you know, please speak to your doctor so you know how many milligrams you're supposed to purchase. Okay, again, antibiotic, extremely important. Chloroquine, extremely important. Okay, next thing is to check your oxygen level. So the great thing about this whole situation is that, believe it or not, I got an oximeter maybe about 3 weeks before I got the virus. Okay, I purchased an oximeter, and this allows me to check my oxygen reading. So what I do is I will check my oxygen readings 3 times a day. Ideally, your oxygen level should not drop below 92. Your SpO should not drop below 92. If it does, you need to notify your doctor, because it might mean that if it drops any further, you're going to require supplementary oxygen, okay, which is not available everywhere. I hear that it is available at the isolation centers and maybe a few hospitals, so don't wait for it to go very low. Okay, the moment that you start to check, the good thing about having an oximeter, I'll show you what an oximeter is. I want to make sure I'm accurate in this video because I feel like it will save a life. So guys, this is what an oximeter looks like, and it's got like the SpO there. So you just put your finger in there and then you check. Okay, luckily my oxygen levels were only going between 96 to 98, which was good. So I was recording my 3 readings every day and sending these readings to my doctor as well. Okay, try to journal as much as possible. If you get this virus, journal from the first day, so that at any point in time, should you need to present to a medical professional what it is that you're going through, you're not guessing the dates, you're not guessing what it was or what you went through. Okay, the next thing is, please don't panic. Don't panic. For a lot of people who have got this virus, one of the leading causes of death and even of, you know, frustration and depression down the road is this fear. It's allowing the fear get to you such that you start panicking, and then there's anxiety, and then you feel like you really can't breathe, and it just goes into something else. Okay, and I understand that it's tough to just say to you, hey, don't panic. Okay, I understand the fear that exists. However, try as much as possible, you know, to just calm yourself and to understand that yes, you've got the virus, right, but you're gonna get over this. Your mind has to focus on the end. That's one of the things I kept saying to myself, and I'm still saying to myself, is that, you know what, there's an end. Okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel, so just keep going. Wake up every day and focus on that day, and then wake up the next day and focus on the next day. Because the thing about this thing is, it fluctuates. It's a roller coaster of emotions, right? People don't talk about the mental repercussions enough. Okay, it's mentally, emotionally, and physically draining. So not only have I been going through the symptoms physically, but it takes a toll on you. Okay, because you're isolating, you're away from people, you're thinking about so many things, you know, it's crazy. Okay, so please make sure that you are not panicking, you're not focusing on the things that make you anxious, because that anxiety stresses your body. Okay, the next thing is breathing exercises. Breathing exercises are super important, because again, the virus does a number on your lungs, okay, and it can make it very difficult for you to breathe. So you don't even need to wait till you have the virus to do this. This is actually something that I started doing in my life in general, and I realized that it has helped me in this period. Okay, so you can do breathing exercises. Go online and just research some of the breathing exercises you can do. One of the things I would do is I would inhale. So I just go deep breath, hold it, count to 4 in your head, and then release very slowly. So okay, release very slowly, and you could do that for like 5, 6 counts, 7 counts, some people do as well, and that will just, you know, again, help you with your breathing. Okay, talk to someone. Like I said, you know, it takes a toll on you mentally, so make sure that, you know, you have someone that you can actually speak to. You may not want to talk to so many people at the same time because it can be very tiring, and this one, hint, this one is for people who are friends to anybody who is going through this. Okay, I know that you care. I know you want to reach out to them every 5 minutes. I know you want to know how they're doing and all of that stuff, but the best thing that you can actually do for them right now is to just let them rest. Yes, check up when you can, but don't be offended if they don't respond to you. And don't call them 1,000,000 times, because it can be very, very exhausting, right, to have to respond to so many people at the same time. So this is not the time to start questioning, you know, are we close, are we friends, you know, like these are my expectations of you. It's not the time. Okay, so just let people rest. And one of the ways that you can actually help is to find out something that they really need at that time and just be present for that. Okay, just play whatever role that you can play at that time. And if you can't play a role, that's fine as well. You know, don't force it, but it's very, very important that, you know, again, if you're the one who's going through this, you know, ask for help if you need to. Have conversations with people throughout this period. You know, I've had one of my friends who has been instrumental to just helping me get through this mentally. Okay, so just being able to share how I'm feeling. In fact, I had moments where I cried. Okay, I'm not even gonna front. I had moments where I would literally just cry because I just needed to kind of let those emotions out and that feeling out. And as soon as I did that, like, I felt better, you know. So again, please, this is not the time to be forming strong woman, you know, strong guy, hard guy, and all of those things. Okay, your health is incredibly important. Please take care of yourself, have conversations. Okay, next one is to steam daily. Okay, and what I would suggest is, if you can do a full body steam, that's great. If you can't, at least do a facial steam. So what I would do is I would take a bowl, put some hot water into it, some boiling water into it, put a little bit of vaporizer, so you can use any vaporizer rub type thing, and then just inhale. Okay, and inhale through your nose, inhale through your mouth. It helps clear your lungs. Again, these are things that I don't think you should wait till you get the virus to start doing. If you can start practicing them in advance, it will actually help you, you know, in the case that you do get the virus. Okay, so just keep steaming. If you could do a full body steam, I used to do that as well, so I stopped doing that now. I'm doing mostly the face steaming, but at the beginning of my symptoms, I would do the full body steam. So I'd have a big pot, you know, put the water inside of it, cover myself with a blanket, steam, and I would put some vaporizer and some coriander leaves, because that also helps just kind of clear your airways. All right, we're doing this. I legit wrote everything down, guys. I don't want to miss anything. All right, so the next thing is to please eat fruits and vegetables. You know, you want to get your vitamins up, so you need to eat nutritious diet. The thing about it is, you're not gonna have appetite. That's the truth. You know, my appetite was gone for the past 2 weeks, but again, I kept saying to myself, like, I'm not eating for flavor, like, I'm eating for sustenance. Like, I need to eat because this is actually very important, because the thing is, the virus does a number, like I said, on you, and if it can't find food, it's gonna just start eating on your tissues and your cells and all of that stuff. So you need to make sure you're eating. I tried not to eat carbs. You can eat carbs if you want, that's fine, and the carbs are actually very good for you, again, depending on your health and your body type. But for me, I tried not to eat too many carbs because it was giving me gas. acid reflux, okay? And when I would get the acid reflux, it would make my chest even tighter and make my breathing even harder. So I tried to focus more on protein, little bit of carbs, and most of the time I would have the carbs in the morning, not in the evening, just so that, you know, I can sleep well. And make sure that you're eating, again, like I said, full portions throughout the day, but you can eat small. So full meaning not like don't overeat, because like I said, acid reflux is real, but eat balanced diet, right, but multiple times throughout the day, right, just so that you always have food in your system. Stay hydrated, keep drinking fluids, you know, drink juices, immunity boosters if you can, you know, vegetables, combinations of vegetables and fruits in your juice. Water, lots of water. Also stay off your devices for a few days, okay? This is incredibly important, because at the beginning you will feel like you need to Google every single symptom that is wrong with you, and the problem with that is that it can cause hypochondria, literally. Like, you now just become so focused and centered on the virus itself and the disease and the illness itself, that you can't even like focus on getting well, okay? You don't need that stress, you don't need that anxiety, you don't need to, you know, keep reading every single symptom. So just stay off your devices. Your body will thank you for it, okay? The other thing is that your body will feel like it's getting better. Like I said, it's a roller coaster, so it will feel like it's getting better, but then along the way it gets worse again, and then gets better and it gets worse again. So don't feel like, oh, because I feel a little bit better now, I'm going to exert a lot of energy. So even before I did this video, I could have done this video 2 days ago, but because 2 days ago I was feeling a little bit better, but I decided that I was gonna wait, okay, and do this video and do it very calmly as well, okay? So not too much gra, because like I said, my lungs are still trying to work their way into the healing process, okay? So you know, like I said, don't exert too much energy, okay? Okay, so I hope that these tips will help you deal with this if you're going through the coronavirus. Or if you know anyone, if your family member or anyone around you is going through this, these are tips that, you know, can help them. Now I'm going to talk about post symptoms, okay? So what I mean by post symptoms is you go through the first 2-3 weeks of madness, right? For some people it's intense. For me it was very intense. It has been intense, okay? So like I said, I've had pretty much almost all the symptoms, at least 90% of the symptoms, which has been very, very tough on my body. So there's that part that you go through, but then there's the post, which is where I am now, which is like the recovery, okay? So you're starting to recover and you can feel your body, you know, coming back right into place. But there are a couple things that you need to keep in mind in that post recovery. So first one is change all your bedding, okay? So change all your bedding as frequently as possible, okay? Because again, your immunity has dropped and you just don't want to be exposed to any other virus, anything, even if it's just a common flu, common cold, whatever is in the air. You don't want to be exposed to anything, even a bacterial infection you don't want to be exposed to, okay? So change your bedding, wash your clothes, all the clothes that you used during this period, make sure that, you know, they go into the washer. Wash them yourself. If anyone is going to wash for you, please let them wear gloves when they're handling your clothes. Disinfect your bedroom, wherever you're isolated, disinfect your whole house. You know, I did that at home. All the door handles, everything was disinfected. Still wear a mask. Like I said, your immunity is still low, so even though yes you feel strong, your immunity is still low and you can still get people get reinfected, but other than that you can get so many other things, okay? So still keep wearing your mask. Don't think to yourself that, oh, I've got the virus once so I can't get it again, okay? Be patient with yourself. This is a journey, okay? It's not going to just go overnight. I wish I could tell you that, you know, after the 2 weeks or after the 3 weeks your body just goes back to normal. It really doesn't for everyone. Like I said, some people are lucky and, you know, they snap right back, but the truth is this thing takes a toll on your body and it takes a while to heal. So you can't go back immediately to things that you used to do before, like, you know, rigorous exercise and all of that. Pace yourself, okay? So if before you used to skip, you know, 20 times, maybe you could just tone it down to like 5 times, you know, that kind of thing. Just start learning your body again and just taking care and be patient, okay? Don't just be like, oh yeah, why am I not getting well? Why am I not getting better? You know, just allow yourself to heal, okay? Like I said before, two other important things. One, it takes a village. Okay, so ask for help if you need to. I mentioned before, you know, for those of you who have friends who are going through this, send them food, send them fruits. Like this whole period, like I haven't been able to do anything, right? Couldn't move, couldn't function, couldn't cook, couldn't do anything. My friends were sending me food. My close friends were sending me fruit baskets. You know, these things helped a lot more than they probably even understand. Okay, for them they're just like helping. For me it meant the world. Okay, because again, you're not highly functional, and you're going to need these things. Anything that you need help with, just ask. Okay, just ask. It's not a time to form strong. And the second thing I said I was gonna say is, this is a bit sensitive, but I feel like I need to talk about this. Okay, and this one is for is with regards to faith. Okay, so for anyone who is a believer, you know, who feels very strongly about their faith, this is not the time to start questioning whether you getting coronavirus is as a result of something that you did in the past, or is as a result of your faith not being strong enough, or any of those things. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. And I wrote this down because I actually want to say it as I wrote it. I wrote that Jesus Christ died on the cross in public glare. Okay, coronavirus is not going to take your Christianity away. I'm going to say that again. Jesus Christ died on the cross in public glare. Okay, so coronavirus is not going to take your Christianity away. By all means, walk in faith, but be cautious as well. You can do both. Okay, so this has nothing to do with, oh, if I come out and I tell people that, you know, I had the virus, will they say, oh my gosh, like it means that I'm not close enough to Jesus, right? Or to God. Also, like, of course, like, you know, when you notify people, people will send you sermons, people will send you stuff and all this material, you know, with regards to your faith and trying to help boost your faith. And those things are important and they help, but I just don't want you to have the mindset of, does it mean that my faith is not strong enough? Because it has nothing to do with that. Just know for a fact that God did not promise us that there will be no storms, but what he did promise us, right, is that he will take us through those storms. And I have this that always reminds me. Okay, so I have my tat that says be still, and it always just reminds me, okay, to be still and to understand that even in that storm, if I can just be still and do the best that I can per time, he will see me through. Okay, so I hope that this entire video just blesses you and just helps you again to deal with this. If you know anyone who's going through this, please share this video with them. This is incredibly important, and I feel blessed to be able to share this. Again, it's not about me, it's not about clout, it's not about, you know, me trying to showcase that I had the virus, but I just feel that it is my responsibility to do this, right? Because I believe that it is going to change someone's life out there. I don't know who, I don't know where you are, but again, I hope that this video will help you in some way, shape or form. I'm gonna end this by just saying, guys, please mask up, please continue to wash your hands, you know, please continue to isolate more, not isolate, but social distance. Importantly, if you don't have to absolutely be somewhere, don't go. Like, oh yeah, I don't, you know, I can't get it, it can't happen to me. But the truth is, I was extra cautious. So I'm one of those people, everyone will tell you around me, okay, I'm one of those people who was extra careful. Okay, wasn't going out, wasn't seeing anybody, I was just like isolating. All I was doing is going from my house to my office to my house and back. Okay, that's mostly what I was doing. But at the same time, you know, it could have been from POS, it could have been from, I went to one particular spot for a media interview that I had, and it's possible that I may have, you know, interacted with someone who was carrying and didn't know, maybe because they told themselves that they had malaria or they had a flu, whatever the case. So the truth is, you don't even worry about, you know, where will I get it from. Just know that anybody can get it at any time. Okay, and so you have to make sure that, you know, you're cautious and you're taking care of yourself. Again, not just for you. You might be saying to yourself that, oh, if I get it after all, I'll just get over it. But for the sake of people that you might infect, whose bodies cannot handle this. Okay guys, stay safe, love you so much. Again, this is not how I expected to spend my Christmas, but I'm gonna I'm going to be spending my Christmas pretty much cooped up in the bedroom, even though, like I said, you know, for me it's been 3 weeks now, but I'm still in the recovery process. But I'm also still a bit cautious that I may be contagious, even though they say that, you know, within the first 10 days, you know, you shouldn't be contagious anymore. But I'm just not taking any chances. So I've decided that, you know, I will keep keep masking up, you know, keep disinfecting and staying clean, and I'll just stay at home and not go anywhere. And then, you know, later on, going into the new year, I'll go and test again just to make sure that I'm 100% negative. All right, guys, have a happy new year and love you guys.